Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking Real Housewives of Atlanta, but we are talking about the Kandi, Burruss, and Todd Tucker divorce because according to Us Weekly, Todd had filed his response to Kandi's divorce petition, and we've got to get into the details. We have got to react, you guys, because we talked about this. We knew this was coming. So we are going to get into it, and then I am going to give y'all a reaction. Oh my goodness, y'all. So it says the following. It says, Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Kandi Burruss' ex Todd Tucker demands primary custody. No. Who's shocked, y'all? Questions the prenuptial agreement. Exclusive. Who is shocked, you guys? Who is shocked? It says the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Kandi Burruss' estranged husband, Todd Tucker, is demanding primary custody of their two kids in divorce court. Us Weekly can exclusively report. On Wednesday, November 26, Todd filed a response, you guys. So that was the day before Thanksgiving. Filed a response to the divorce petition that Burruss filed. He said that their two children are currently in his care and residing with him in Georgia, you guys. So he's already laying it out, and that's why I kept stressing enough that daddy daycare stuff he's doing. He posted even another daddy daycare, episode this morning, you guys, which we also got to talk about as well. But none of the less, you guys, demanding primary custody of their two kids in divorce court. Wednesday filed the response, day before Thanksgiving, said two children are currently in his care, residing with him in Georgia, while Kandi is, quote unquote, you guys, out of state. So already kind of establishing, Kandi, listen, look at here, she's not here in Georgia. It is me with the kids. She's out of state with the work obligations and so on and so forth, you guys. And then it says as well, the exes share, of course, their children, Ace, born 2016, and daughter Blaze, born 2019. Tucker, 52, noted Burruss' work obligations, you guys, and will continue to require her to be away from the children for at least the next several months as he pleaded for primary custody. His filing noted the parties have been working cooperatively in an effort to resolve all issues, and Tucker remains committed to continuing those discussions in good faith. You know what that means? That means, hey, I'm trying to get to this money is what that means, right? But none of the less, then it says as well, Tucker says, in the hopeful, unlikely event that they are unable to reach a custody deal, he will be seeking primary custody, joint legal custody, and financial decision-making authority. No. So ultimately, this reminds me, I don't know if y'all remember the Kelly Clarkson divorce with her late husband. Was basically like, listen, looky here, I'm seeking primary custody, I'm seeking all of this, but until he got the payout that he was looking for, I think they ultimately ended up having joint custody, if I'm remembering correctly. So nonetheless, it says that they're talking and they're working cooperatively for right now, but that was prior to this response. And so nonetheless, again, let me read that to y'all again. In the hopefully unlikely event that they are unable to reach a custody deal, he will be seeking primary custody, you guys. primary physical custody, joint legal custody, and financial decision-making. He proposed Burris having a substantial time and meaningful access to the children. Tucker's lawyer praised Burris as a mother. Oh, I want to know who his attorney is. Is it Randy Kessler again? His filing noted Tucker wishes to make clear that he recognizes Burris has a loving and capable parent and remains sincerely and hopeful that prior and continued discussions between the parties will bring full resolution to all matters. Tucker admitted that he signed a prenuptial agreement before getting hitched on April 4th, 2014, but suggested that he was pressured into signing it without his lawyers around. Tucker's lawyers had said the agreement was presented to Tucker without Tucker having counsel, even though Burris's then counsel had communicated previously with Tucker's team regarding the potential prenuptial agreement. Despite that knowledge, Burris's counsel presented the final agreement to Tucker for signature immediately before the wedding ceremony without any notice or consultation with Tucker's team, and who had been significantly engaged in the negotiation process, Tucker's filing alleged. These circumstances raised substantial questions concerning the enforceability of said document. Nevertheless, Tucker remains committed to working in good faith to resolve this matter amicably and privately to the extent possible. Tucker's counterclaim for divorce also demanded a, quote, division of all marital assets, both real and personal, tangible and intangible, between the parties, you guys. This is going to light up everything, you guys. The question is now, will Kandi quit all of her other jobs just so that she can stay in Atlanta for this joint custody thing and go back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, even if it's in a friend of capacity? Like what Dr. Heavenly, is a friend of right now on Married to Medicine? Would it get to that point that she would come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta as a friend of, just to stay in Georgia and try to tailor any projects, any future work that she's got going on, that it's not out of state? Because what Todd did this morning, and I was like, oh, this is sneaky, right? But we didn't know yet that he had already filed his response. So he did this like Daddy Daycare Car Chronicles, and he was taking Ace and Blaze to school and asked how their Thanksgiving was and what they were thankful for. And so they basically said that they were thankful for their parents. Now, I don't know if they, if that was impromptu or what that was about. And they also thought that Todd had cooked the food. But it's important to discuss this because, again, I did a video regarding Kandi posting that Thanksgiving picture and Todd was MIA. However, his kids were in the picture, right? Including Kayla. And she had pinned a comment before anybody says anything. Todd was here earlier and everything else, but wasn't here by the time we took the picture. So I'm wondering, perhaps, Kandi, this is the first time they're seeing each other, they're interacting, and she probably got word from her attorney at some point, Todd's response. What Todd's response was, depending on when it hit the system. And maybe, they didn't want to, have any drama with Thanksgiving, so, maybe Todd skedaddled up on out of there. But here is the thing, you guys. Who is shocked? Who is shocked? I could tell by the way Kandi filed that divorce paperwork that she knew Todd was going to have a different response, a different set of expectations as her. But this is, again, people get mad when you say that this is why you need to marry people, quote unquote, on your level, in the same financial bracket, in the same financial class as you. Because here's the thing, if it doesn't work out and Mad Day comes and a divorce comes, this is what happens. This is what happened to Sherry Shepherd. This is what happened to Mary J. Blige. This is what happened to all these people who are like, oh, I just found me a good man. It doesn't matter if I'm worth millions of dollars and da-da-da-da-da-da. He loves me for me. He's into me for me and da-da-da-da-da. No. Listen, and that's why I told y'all, some of y'all were all bigging up how long the marriage lasted. It was 11 years, and that's considered quote unquote a success. No. Some could argue that maybe somebody looked at this as doing a bid, is doing a 10-year bid in prison. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you're not in prison per se, but you're getting all of the perks. You're getting all the A-list invites to stuff. You are getting the shmoney. You are getting the access and the open doors that you're looking for. So you're going to grin and bear it. Now, the thing with the prenup, though, so I knew this would happen, that he would claim that he was in duress or whatever else as it pertains to the prenup. But also, you guys, I'm trying to recall the prenup, and I would have to do some digging to remember what was all in it. I thought after so many years, only Todd would get like $300,000 and had to move out within 30 days. And I thought that it said that if they had any businesses together, that it would be a split or something along those lines. And so from what I understand, I think the only businesses they have left is all the restaurants are closed except for one OLG location, and I'm not sure what the situation is with their production company, but I know Todd has his own as well, so I'm not sure where that comes into play, and not sure if the trucking business, what the status is of that. Did they ever put out the Mexican restaurant? Like, is there any other businesses that we need to be taking account for that we don't know about, and everything else, right? That's one thing. And then the division of marital assets is interesting to me because I thought that Kandi's homes were in her name. However, I do remember a interview or something Kandi did where she had mentioned that Todd was paying the bills, right, for one of the residences. So, but I told y'all a couple of years ago, I believe it was in 2023, where Todd was on a podcast and was talking about how you can make claim to real estate properties even though your name is not on the deed. No. And this was around the height of the Kenya Moore and Mark Daly quote-unquote divorce saga, in which he wanted a claim to Moore Manor, even though his name is not on the deed anywhere. He did not pay for anything pertaining to Moore Manor. And so I am wondering if Todd has, and that's why it's like, again, it's not coming from, a place of negativity, any haterade or anything like this, but that ex-girlfriend that had spilled the tea, that people had wrote off and scrubbed, that basically laid out what Todd's intentions were. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe children were a part of the original prenup. So either way, he's going to be looking for some type of child support. Right? And then I am surprised that it's not in this response document as well, that basically he had to quit his job in order to be with Kandi, right? So he could have continued working for a producer. However, it would have been a conflict of interest, which would have meant him and Kandi couldn't be together. So I'm surprised that they didn't work that angle in there too. That initially some of the opportunities and everything else, like, you had to grind and hustle for, basically, because Kandi wanted you glued to her. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what those reasons were. I don't know if that was to, if she was concerned about cheating or concerned about what, but this should be a zero shock to you guys. This divorce is going to be interesting. Now, this would be incredible if Kandi came back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I feel like the Phaedra situation, I just don't know. I don't know if she would come back with how things are between her and Phaedra. But would Kandi quit all of her opportunities? Would she quit Broadway? Would she quit anything else if The Chi still comes on? I'm not sure. And filming, for that show and any other work obligations that she has outside of Georgia. Would she quit all of those things to avoid Todd having primary and sole custody? Or is this quote unquote negotiation a situation to where Todd is potentially looking at a lump sum payment or some type of, a figure in millions that he's looking to, have. And then if he gets that money, that shmoney, then he's going to agree to joint custody? Like, is this what the power play is? And then contesting the prenup to basically say, listen, look here, like I've had access. I've been in your life almost 15 years, married to you for 11 years. Here is everything that I know, right? Here is everything. Like how far is this going to go? Is where I'm getting at, you guys. How far is this going to go? And how much is Todd going to nickel and dime everything and say, listen, look at here. This was while we were married. I'm entitled to this, right? We did this too while we were married. I'm entitled to this as well. Forget what the prenup says. It's a different, we aligned and we merged X, Y, and Z together. And even though you might have been on this project, you wanted me to travel with you. When you went on tour with Escape, you got mad at me for wanting to stay home and trying to work. And so it's interesting, all these clips that are resurfacing now. And people would go in on how Todd would neg Kandi and talk about her. But a lot of these clips, a lot of these episodes too, Todd can use in his favor. He can use in his favor about the prenup situation and being under duress if the timeline is accurate of what was portrayed on the wedding special. He can also, you guys, portray in several episodes how he's felt neglected, how Kandi's never home, how even Riley is in an episode saying, listen, look at here, like, why do we have more kids? Why do I have younger siblings and you're not here? So it definitely, even before they left the show, Kandi's last season, even you could tell there was a disconnect. You could tell Todd was getting frustrated and resentful that Kandi was never around. And this whole daddy daycare thing, this whole thing that he is doing on social media, all of that is documentation, you guys. All of that is documentation to say on this day, I'm taking the kids to school on this day. I've picked up the kids from school on this day. I'm taking the kids to all their activities. Kandi is allegedly in New York prepping for her role on Broadway that is going to go through March. So therefore, I need primary custody. Now, I'm not saying she's a bad mother. I'm not saying she can't have access to the kids, but you're going to have to break me off something. Like Denzel says, I'm leaving here with something. F the prenup. You know what I'm saying? F the prenup, I'm leaving here with something. So with that being said, what's going to be the move? What is going to be the move, you guys? So this is very interesting development, you guys. We got to talk more about it, you guys, because but we knew this would happen. We knew this was the direction that it was going with how short and abrupt Kandi's divorce filing was. It was giving. There had been conversations with Todd, and they were not to Kandi's liking. Let me file for a divorce first. That's what that was giving. So there's that. That is it. That's all. Es todos, es final, es finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.